Welcome to yet another edition of International Forum. I know you've heard the giggle of my guests are discussing issues of camera, but maybe in due course on radio get to hear what they have to really say, because tempers are like high up there. Palava, federal government. Anyway, that'll be on Impact on radio. But for now, it's time for International Forum. Something happened in America. Donald Trump's villa was raided. The Mar-a-Lago villa was raided, and some documents taken. People are like saying that this is the first time in American history it is happening to an ex-president. What do you think this will lead to? And that is going to be the crossbar discussion today on International Forum. I am Wilson on Marshall. I also have a legal practitioner, Barrister Emmanuel Obapolo. Welcome to International Forum. I appreciate your coming.
Good afternoon, Viewers at home.
And of course, Frank Amego, a lecturer. His temper is like, it's like, ASU. Not about ASU now, please focus on this one first, all right? He's a clergyman also. Welcome to International Forum. I appreciate your coming.
Thank you so very much.
All right. Yeah. So, let's start off with this. Were you surprised to see what happened in Mar-a-Lago villa, the villa of Donald Trump, when FBI agents went to his house with a search warrant to start searching, looking for documents, taking it out for forensic examination? Did it come to you as a shock, Honorable?
Yes, it wasn't at all. It's just like what we say in our domain here. If you do anyhow, you see anyhow. So, and in that respect, it was the conduct of ex-president, 76-year-old Donald Trump. What he did led to what happened to him. And as we know, in the same climb as the United States of America is, the law is no respecter of persons. We were looking at it from the Nigerian perspective, that how could they have invaded, raided, terrorized the residence of a former president. But what he did was why they had to do what they did. And FBI claimed that there were some secret documents in the White House that Donald Trump took along from Washington, D.C. to Florida. And while he was taking them, what we asked, were there no checks along the line? You took them and you refused to return them. And those documents, they said they were kind of secret documents. Americans don't joke with such documents. And you're going to come in 2024 as a president, want to contest as a president. So why soil your hands? And he's laying claims to the weaponized politicization of the Department of Justice. That is claiming so, including his supporters. But that is not the matter. He's also claiming that Hillary Clinton did something similar to what he did. And why didn't you expose her? As if that would give credence to the action they have taken. And while they invaded, it was far away in New York. I'm sure they called his son, and his son now interacted with him. So what he did led to the raid, as he claimed, of his residence.
What he did
led
yes. to the raid of his residence, the Mar-a-Lago villa. Barrister Emmanuel Obapolo, do you have a contrasting view to his own opinion, saying he wasn't shocked when it happened to Donald Trump, but according to history, he's like the first American president, ex-president rather, whose house was ransacked and searched by the FBI?
I am surprised. I'm stunned to my bone marrow just now. America is a country that many of us respect. We hold them in high esteem. And the president just now is somebody that is well respected, whom the party he belongs to, Democrats. But the way and manner they go about this raid just now, to my mind, is not in consonance with the provisions of the law. Looking at it, one, the purported suspect, the person of Donald Trump, wasn't at home. invaded his house. If they claim to have a search warrant, can they now search the house of a man who wasn't at home? Because they know fully well that he wasn't at home. They knew it. And they went there, they raided, and some of them just now are giving an excuse, or the excuse that it is in connection with what transpired at Capitol, the protest at Capitol, that it is not far from that protest, and that they are looking for some documents that are connected to such protests as a claim. But just now, the minority leader in the Congress, the person of Kelvin McCarthy, posted on his online page, "I have seen enough." And he queried the way and manner the search was conducted, and also that the Justice Department of the United States of America will be under investigation should his party get the majority in the vote come November this year. So putting all of this together, the information and facts and figures that we have just now, I think they are trying to make Donald Trump feel that he's a very important figure just now, and also the man, you know him, he has this character of shouting even before things are done. Before you know, the man will begin to say that they want to bring down his political career, because they know that by 2024 he will be coming out, which he himself is already shouting. And so, looking at all of that, I think they would have soft pedal and maybe take a different approach to how the way and manner they went about raiding his mansion just now. To my mind, is not in consonance with the law. I query with the approach, and looking at the way, you know, the man just also is gearing up for 2024 election. So they may end up letting him have what I call sympathy vote.
Sympathy vote. We'll come to that, talking about the 2023 election. 24 election, thank you so much. Now, when it happened in the wee hours of the morning, Trump was in New York in his car, and according to him, he was shocked to his marrow. Now, what you rightly said, he said this is weaponizing the Justice Department against his person. Is that not really witch hunting? Because what he also said, this hasn't happened to an ex-president of the United States. Why are they targeting him?
Donald Trump should be sincere as a former president of America. If he's looking at it on just one side, he should create a balance. He claimed that it was unprecedented, which I agree with. Is un-American. I also agree with that what the FBI did were pushed along that line. But he has forgotten that what if the offense he committed, if found guilty, is at least 3 years in prison.
This is what if found guilty.
At least 3 years in prison. It was unprecedented that his home was searched. That was the language.
The wee hours of the morning.
It wasn't wee. It was 10 a.m. American time. That's not wee enough. 10 a.m. enough. Day don't break. 10 a.m. American time. So, if what he did led to the search, it was not qualified as raid. It wasn't raid they used. So, what the FBI did to him was unprecedented. What Donald Trump did to our American government was unprecedented also. What FBI did to him was...
Hold on, you said what Donald Trump did. Mind you, the case is in court. He's not guilty.
But it was a court that gave a lawyer, sir.
Yeah.
They gave a search warrant. So the matter of invasion or raiding shouldn't come in. They gave a search warrant that allowed the FBI, about 30 of them. They didn't invade anywhere. And there is no way Donald Trump, later from the reports that his son Eric was also with him, there was no way he would have left home, he and his son. Donald Trump would have left home with some persons based on his personality, and that home would have been left empty. There would have been security details. So I'm sure by law, those security details would have asked for a search warrant. Of course, the FBI showed it to them. And there's no incident of, as usual, FBI would break into homes and all that. There was nothing done in that sense. So what they were looking for was what they got. As Bannister said it, the January 6, 2021 Capitol riot is not far from it. There were cases of fraud here and there that they want to investigate. And as they were there, they put a call across to Eric Trump, his son, and the young man informed his father. As a multi-billionaire in dollars, not in naira, he could fly from New York to Florida within a short time. Because the search started in the morning and ended about sometime in the afternoon. So we were able to fly from New York to Florida. So that aspect we're looking at politics now, this is not politics. You're looking at the territorial integrity of America as a whole. Why would you take those buses of documents away? Were they yours? No. You mistakenly took them. It's over a year now. Why didn't you return them? Why is it that you're trying to cover up some tracks that nobody should know about? Of course, that was it. That was why they had to come to search his premises. All right. As they came searching, I'm sure that his security details would have seen the search warrant. They should have as well called Donald Trump in New York. That we have some characters here, though they have a legal document backing their search of your premises. What action did they take? Okay. Is there enough to go on air and be shouting, it's un-American, it's unprecedented, which you also yourself are guilty of?
Okay, I'll come back to you, Honorable. Now, from what he said, it's un-American, unprecedented, it's unusual. He agreed to that, but he said Trump called this on himself. Let's take a look at the statement of Trump. You are a legal practitioner that is weaponizing the justice system against him. And it's like, according to Donald Trump, is witch hunting him. He said that's not true, but that's the right thing for them to do. After all, they had to, give permission to those FBI agents to go do those search. As a legal practitioner, it's just weaponizing the justice system, and of course, witch hunting against Donald Trump.
I see it more as witch hunting against the man. Like Prof said here, I haven't gotten to his house and discovered that the man was not in. And I did say from the outset of this program that they knew he wasn't at home. They knew it. Why the hurry? Why didn't they wait for him until his arrival and do the search or conduct the search in his presence? So it goes to show that there is more that meets the eye for every one of us to see. Because the situation just now, whether you like it or not, Donald Trump is human, and with his kind of characteristics, the man will begin to give it a political flavor. And before you know, he begins to get the sympathy of all and sundry. Having said that, even a congressman, a Democrat, Ted Lieu, is also sympathizing with him. The man has come out to say, look, even if you want to conduct search on this man, it shouldn't be in the man's absence, it should be in his presence. That whatsoever the court, whatever search warrant that the court has granted, the court must have specified the period for the search. And the search, looking at it morally and legally, ought not to be behind the man, except there is something so specific, something so indicting that maybe we would think that should we do it in his presence, the man will look for one or two ways to conceal those things from us. Having said that, looking at the search itself critically, to my mind, is something that is questionable. One, because, like I said, in the man's absence. Two, when did the court granted the search warrant? Three, to who was it granted the search warrant? Four, on what property was the search warrant granted to or on, as the case may be. So, you putting all these facts and figures together, there are questions begging for answers in relation to this raid. My prof said it is not raid. I don't know the name to give to it. It's a situation where a government agency could conduct a search warrant in the absence of the person upon whom the search warrant was given against, to my mind, is wrong. So, yes, we know that Trump must have been involved in one or two ways, one or two things, which could be implicating or indicting, as the case may be. But does that not say, or does that not mean that a search of this magnitude should be conducted in his absence? To my mind, the answer is a no. And looking at the history of America, for over 200 years now, no former president of America that this kind of raid has been conducted behind or in his presence. So when you look at the catalog of situations painted by the purported raid just now, you begin to see that indeed there is something that somebody somewhere is looking for, or thinking that this man has something in his possession that we need to use to nail him or to rope him. So Donald Trump, I trust him. He will use this situation to even do his campaign. You begin to cry to tell the whole world, particularly to Americans, that look, it is because of this I did, because of that I did, that this gang war is against me. So immediately the FBI members got to his premises. We were made to understand that they called the son to let the son know. The son is not the owner of the property, for goodness sake. Donald Trump is the owner of the property. And immediately Donald Trump posted on his Facebook page that, look, my house is being raided just now by FBI. And you begin to see response. It's not like this part of the world where something will happen and everybody will say, be silent, keep short. Over there, they will not keep silent. You will see sympathizers. You will see those who are not even sympathizers. You will see foes. You will see friends. They will all be there. Everybody will be making comments. And at the end of the day, they will sieve all of the comments in relation to the facts and figures presented. And questions will be needed to be asked. I see after this raid, come sometime, someday, there will be questions that will be asked. And some persons need to answer those questions.
Over to you now, Honorable. You heard him. He said that it's a raid and it's a witch hunt. He gave strong reasons why he chose to take that position, knowing fully well that Trump wasn't informed. And over 200 years of American existence, it hasn't happened to any president. Come on. Do you think they are bringing up a bad antecedent, talking about the FBI?
I'm suspecting Barrister. Maybe he's thinking that Donald Trump will hire him. Maybe he's thinking so. Because the issues are clear. There's no need trying to give it a new name. The type of warrant given to the FBI was not called raid warrant. It was called search warrant. So it was Donald Trump that related it to get the sympathy.
Hold on. If it's a search warrant, yes, will not be informed. Ask me.
As I was saying.
Ask me. All right, continue.
I'm also sure that Trump will not hire you as a spokesman. Listen. He won't hire you. The issues are very clear to any ordinary human being to assess. So it was a search warrant, not a raid warrant. That's number one. Number two, in Nigeria, for instance, I'm not a lawyer. I said they're going to do a part-time law now. Well, let me do part-time. But I'm aware from the Nigerian situation, if you have a suspect and the Nigerian police officers want to have access to that suspect or to wherever his residence is, are you supposed to call him that we are coming to your house to come and search your house? The issues we are talking about are issues of national security. Why did they call him before he left Florida that day for New York? We were coming to your residence to search. He would have removed those boxes of information.
Hence they raided.
They raided.
Yeah,
okay. No, they raided.
Yeah.
No, not that the search warrant is a search warrant. They raided because they needed not to have told him. Because the search warrant.
Okay, so you're not between search and raid right now.
Yes.
Okay.
There's a major difference.
Okay.
It's just like two persons fighting.
All right.
One will expect them to use their fist. But when your opponent is overpowering, you can bite. All that fight. So what the FBI was mandated to do was a search.
Okay.
And they needed not to have told him because he had those incriminating things in his possession. They needed to have told him. So if Trump will use that as a base for his campaign, I'll tell you, maybe through you to him, that it can't work. Because it's a matter of national security. We don't know who is going to be affected by that act of Donald Trump. So why would you remove things from the White House to your private residence and you are no longer in office? Don't you know it's in Nigeria? Anything your government, any government thing in your possession, return to the government. So why did you do that? He was laying claim, thinking in an attempt to play smart, that Hillary Clinton deleted 13,000 emails that would have put her in the eye of probe and all that, and nothing happened to her. So was that the basis upon which you did this? So many questions to answer.
All right, lots and lots of questions to answer. Now, the natural observer said, look, what you guys took from my house, some of them were my personal effects. It's not only about the state. So my business property, my business documents were taken by you guys. You see Donald Trump suing the FBI for doing that as a legal practitioner.
Yes, I see him doing that, and I still maintain my position just now. Having regard with the situation that warranted the raid of Trump's mansion. Looking at it, like I said, when a search warrant is being issued by a court, the warrant is directed and the warrant is specific to a particular person and property. Very specific. The court, in its wisdom, cannot give a vague warrant. The court in its wisdom, because by via the application for the search, there are certain specific paragraphs of the affidavit that will state where and on whom the search warrant is to be used against or on, as the case may be. Now, looking at that, now that they raided his house, they've not been able to tell the world what and what they got from his house. Like Prof said here, it's just a mere allegation. Donald Trump was the former president of the United States of America. He's a figure that is well known. It's a figure that you can assess at any time of the day. So, to my mind, going to his property in his absence is wrong. Then, not that, they also went there, if they claim, because Prof is the one tabling the defense just now.
So he's going to defend the FBI.
If they claim that they allegedly took some important documents, and the man is saying, you took something that belongs to me personally. It has nothing to do with the United States of America. I don't want to think that the person of Donald Trump will pose threats to the security of the United States of America. I don't want to think so. I disagree with that absolutely. So they cannot now claim to have gone there on the ground of national security, just like Prof is saying. They cannot even say it out. The United States of America will not say that out. The FBI will not say that out. Because they know the tendency, they know the implication, they know the aftermath. Should they make that kind of statement in a situation, in an epoch where you have a scientific terrorist just now, the United States will not be so loose to make that kind of statement. You get it? So going there in the man's absence, and you invaded his house, you raided his property, and you took documents, it's wrong. I see him suing there, and thank God. He was trying to make comparison with this place where we are resident just now. A place where anything can happen. A country where an elephant will fly, nobody will ask. The comparison is like bringing the whole of Africa with a tiny island called Barbados. That is the distance.
All right. Now you just hold on. I want to go for a break, but Africa to Barbados, please. We are still Africans. So part of who we are. We want to go for a break. When we return, we'll continue with this discussion, the Mar-a-Lago raid. Some call it, others say it's a Mar-a-Lago search. Donald Trump is on the edge and is not really happy about the situation right now. Do stay tuned. We'll be right back. Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is International Forum, taking a look at the raid of Donald Trump's mansion. Some call it search, others call it raid. I'm going to be waiting the implication of all this. U.S. is a country that lives by rules and regulation. And of course, according to reports, a none have been broken. It has not been done in the history of America. Many Americans, they are not really happy about it. Bringing it down to politics, like what he said, do you think it's going to lead to a sympathy vote if Donald Trump chooses to run for that same position of a president?
Donald Trump will certainly run in 2024. Nothing's going to stop him. But if you run, can you win? As we're having now, you mentioned you're going to search somebody's property in his absence. But we should ask ourselves this question in the studio now. If my property, let's say my money, you took it and kept it in your pocket, then I realized that my money was in your pocket, I don't need any permission to collect that money back from you. So you took the vital documents from the White House where you were leaving office. You didn't think of the unprecedented taking. Now you are complaining about the unprecedented raiding. You created it. FBI would have just gone to invade as you are claiming, knowing that at the time you were their direct boss as the president of America. They would have given you that honor. But what you have done now, I've seen some courts, even part of law, they just create an image. The person will hold one object, hold the other object, and tie the eyes. Shouldn't that be the same thing over there? It doesn't matter who now, is what is done. So if you're looking at him as a former president, that nothing of such has ever happened. I've agreed. But what he did also has never happened. So if you wanted nobody to talk about you, nobody to harass you, you don't create an environment or a platform to warrant such an assault, in quotes. So what Donald Trump should have done, whatever thing or things they took from his residence, his security agents would have been there to see. It was not done at night, from morning to afternoon. So his security agents would have been going with them. They were just 30 FBI officers, and I'm sure he would have had more than that number guarding his residence. They would have been moving with them, because if you are going to search somebody's property or even a vehicle, the owner should be there or somebody to represent. So at that point, they would have taken note of some things that appeared personal to Donald Trump. And if he has the right to go back to the FBI office to assess those things they took. If they discover that some of the things they took were not for the government of America, they could give him back those things. So they are suspecting majorly that he's trying to cover up certain things that he did while in office. So why didn't he keep those things he took? As if, let's say, he mistakenly took them from the DC, Washington DC, he took them to Florida. After a year or so, he realized that these things didn't belong to me. What stopped him from taking them back? If they took 100 things from his residence during the search and discovered that one of those things, one out of the 100, did not belong to him. In Benin, you caught a thief in your farm where you harvested yam and put them on the barn. And the thief now agreed that he stole just one line from the barn. If you accept that you took a part of it, it shows you were really guilty of so many things. So if out of the 100 they took from his residence, one belonged to the White House, it means it was intentional.
But is it not right with the example you gave that maybe someone took somebody's money, put it in his pocket, and the person came back to search that person? Is it right for that person to collect the person's money and the money being taken by that same person?
You took, because that's
the same. You took yours, you took mine. Come on.
Wait. You're not looking at the offense at all. You're not looking at the offense. You took my money and kept it in your pocket. I checked myself, two of us were just there. My 100 naira note is missing.
And two of us have been here since. Then I did my hand into your pocket.
And you grabbed everything.
After I asked you, I put my hand into your pocket.
Yes.
I brought out some notes. I will take mine and return yours.
But in this case, they took everything and put it in their pocket.
If you claim what I took was part of your own,
Yeah.
first you have accepted guilt. You have accepted guilt as a result. If you are claiming what I took mine and yours together, then I'll spread it on the table. You take care of from it, I'll take mine.
Over to you now.
Prof needs, it's obvious that Prof needs to study this law. And, I wish him well to study. Maybe somewhere in Canada or Ukraine. But looking at the situation just now,
Yes.
It's really worrisome. It's not something that one should celebrate or one should give.
But some are celebrating already.
Credit.
Some are happy about it.
That is why to my mind I said it has to do with, it has a political flavor. And looking at it from that angle. Because you haven't listened to some of the congressmen speak, you discover that some of them, even those who are Democrats, are not really happy with what transpired. Because those persons are not only but Puritans. They want to tell their own side of the story and they want it to be told the way it happened. Now, looking at the situation, you begin to discover that if this scenario is not checkmated, then every American president should also have it at the back of his or her mind that when he or she leaves office, one day some persons can just bamboozle the house and begin to, on the claim that they want to search, they want to take some vital documents, or they want to get something so vital to the United States of America or to the national unity of United States of America. That is not an excuse in any way. Looking at the situation, you begin to discover that just now, they have given this man a better reason to begin to tell his story in a better way. The man can attribute what transpired to be political. And I think many persons will buy that view, that idea. The man can also look at it and say, oh, it is a mere witch hunting. So many persons will also look at it from that angle. And if you look at it, just like Prof said that they took some document, they did the question, the germane question is who took inventory of what was taken from his premises? Who took inventory of them? That is the reason why the man needed to be there. All of this ought to have been done in his presence. If we take inventory of them, they will also take inventory and say, look, this and this and this and what was taken from your premises. We want to take them for some papers, we want to look at them. Thereafter, we may return them to you if necessary. That is better. But not to just go to the man's, in the man's absence, and you just bamboozle the man's house, and you begin to turn the house upside down, and you come out and say, oh, there are vital documents we are looking for that is connected to the national security of the United States of America. America is not in any threat, by the way. It's not in any security threat, by the way. America, for the now, America is bigger than no nation will threaten America. The national security of America is intact as it stands. So, the person of Donald Trump cannot now pose to be a national threat when he just left office few months ago. And he's also dreaming of coming back to that office few months to come. No, that is not the issue here. The issue here is that, one, was a search warrant granted? If the search warrant was granted, against who the search warrant was granted? And on what premises the search warrant was granted? And on the guys that what is being looked for? These are the questions we should ask. So, going to the man's house, you are making, even if the man or coming to allege that, hey, look, he made away with some document, for how long now? Is there any court that has made that pronouncement that, yes, he is found guilty of doing this or doing that? Like Prof said, if you choke your hand in the man's pocket because you suspect the man to have taken your money, you can be liable for your own money.
In law.
In law, a man can steal his own property. He can be liable for that. That is just the truth. That is the position of the law. It's an elementary principle that even a 200 level law student knows. So that is why anything you do, there are principles, there are procedure, there are modus operandi that direct everything you do in life. The United States of America is a country of principles, not like you said.
All right.
They should have followed the real way, the principled way as laid down by the law or as encapsulated by the law. And all of this, even when the man wants to shout, people tell, oh, don't shout, be silent, be silent. In America, the law is above every person. No person is above the law. So you can also be searched. That wouldn't have amounted to any issue. But just now, this raid amounts to so many issues.
All right, now we're waiting for the FBI to come out to make a statement to let the world and, of course, Americans know if the documents taken from Donald Trump's mansion are incriminating. We've not heard anything. Do you think that they made a mistake with this search and raid?
Never a mistake at all.
Because we've been waiting to hear. So what's that damning thing? Bring it out. You've searched.
I can still tell you that you watch your emotions.
I'm asking the question.
Yeah, even the questions are laden with emotions. So the point is this. FBI got there. Before they got there, they got that warrant. Before they got the warrant, they suspected certain things. So is that suspicion now, I'm thinking, they are evaluating. They cannot rush to make a public statement. Let's evaluate what we ever suspected. If it happens that their suspicion was baseless, then we can come back here and say, FBI, apologize. Or Donald Trump, sue them. So there's no need to raise eyebrows now. Let them come with their report. If their reports indict the former president, then the law will take its course and the reverse is the case. And again, I want to say that Donald Trump, we all know the personality he carries. Too much noise over little things. If, as they searched your premises, and you discover that such a thing happened, why didn't you come? You refused to come. But I'm sure before they start searching, the security details would have allowed them to enter. They didn't break into the premises. Even with the rooms they went into, there was no forceful entry at any point. I'm sure those rooms were freely open for them to search. That's one. And again, if I'm sure you don't know the story of the hawk and the hen. It will help us enlighten me. Yes. Donald Trump is just shouting for nothing. I tell you that. It got to a point in time, the hawk said, people are just condemning me, that I prey on the chicks. The truth of the matter is, this small chick is not enough for me. Okay, can I go for the mother hen or for the chicks? The mother, if you prey on me as a mother, now give birth to the younger ones. So go ahead with the children. So that the hawk here now is Donald Trump. One of friends that people shouting about. Hillary Clinton did worse than I did now. So what was the big deal? So that's the situation we're having. But why the double standard? There's no double standard. If you feel that what Hillary Clinton did was wrong, why did you bring it up all this while? Now taking advantage of that to leverage on whatever Hillary Clinton did. At age 76, you're still having that reprisal attack. A fight back over what was done by a woman that we now refer to as woman rapper. If she did it, as you claim, 33,000 days were erased, deleted, whatever language, and you saw or knew that that was an offense against the law of the land, did you raise it up? No, not leveraging on that. If she did it, nothing happens. Why should something happen in my case? That means he's claiming he's guilty. His guilt now is based on you attacking Hillary Clinton. You judge her, then judge me. If you don't judge her, don't judge me. He's not exempting himself from it. He's not. All right. He's not exempting himself.
Now, dragging Hillary Clinton into all this, I mean, like what he rightly said, that means he's guilty, so to speak. Yeah. He really took those documents, and from that perspective, do you think he should be nailed for that?
We will leave the FBI to come up with their reports. I know that in a few days' time, the they may come up with reports. And also, you know,
That's gone beyond a week right now.
you know America. You know one thing about America. When you have security issues that surrounds an America, America can choose to bury it. That is one thing about them. As long as it involves an American. That is why the International Criminal Courts does not have jurisdiction to prosecute an American. Ask why. They believe that they have a better system that can checkmate, a better system that can investigate, a better system that can evaluate, a better system that can prosecute, and a better system that cannot punish. They believe in that. And thus far, they've been doing it to the best of their ability. So, given the person of Donald Trump an opportunity to make the kind of hula baloo the man is engaged in just now, to my mind, is of no consequence. They ought not to have given him They know his characteristics. They knew him before, during, and after the presidency in America, and his dream just now. And you are now, like I did say from the outset, they will only help this man to have sympathy by the people. The people begin to sympathize with him. And that's why you see him, in trying to draw that sympathy by force, he's now shouting, oh, so XYZ did so thing. You people didn't do anything. Me, that didn't do anything. You are now coming out.
But he said he did. That means he's guilty. Because he said Hillary Clinton did the same thing. I did. Nobody questioned her.
Listen.
Document is document. Whether it's in files or in computer, documents are documents. So why would you search, raid Donald Trump, and you left Hillary Clinton out of the equation, though he admitted doing the same thing?
What the man is trying to tell you is that because the same party Hillary Clinton belongs to is in power. That is what I'm saying. They shouldn't have given him that opportunity. The man is now shouting, oh, it's because Democrats are in power. That's why they are coming after me, a Republican. That is the
did he do it?
Now.
But did he do it? But did he do it?
Whether or not he did it, that will be left for the court to determine so.
You are speaking like a true legal practitioner.
To determine. But what we are looking at, the subject of this matter, the cause of this matter, is the raiding of his house. We cannot, whether you call it search, okay, the search of his house.
Yes.
In his absence. Is that not what we are looking at? If this search was conducted in his presence, there wouldn't have been any room for us to come and start discussing about it. That is just the truth. So, but because it was all in his absence, and the man is now shouting to higher heavens that look what has happened to me. And you know him because at times when he begins to speak, sorry, without due respect to his person, that self-control leaves. And the man cannot say anything he wants to say. You get it? But if it were to be some persons who are very tactical in words and in action, take for instance Obama. Obama wouldn't say anything. Take for instance Hillary Clinton himself. I forgot the first name just now. Bill Clinton himself. He won't say anything. He will just remain there and keep quiet and watch how things will play out themselves. But his character, the man must talk.
He must talk.
I thought you were defending him.
I am. Okay. And he's talking about the action right now of Donald Trump. We'll call it a wrap on this show. Should other presidents be wary of this action? That one way or the other, the FBI or CIA may come knocking at your door even after your tenure, vis-a-vis that Trump is now a president or the doorway to do what the FBI did. Should they be worried about it, or should they welcome this gesture?
No former president, no sitting president, no incoming president should be wary. Once you have integrity, which I feel is missing now, because in an attempt to get public sympathy, you are bringing in politics. Has the offense been committed? If the offense was committed, they allow the law to take its due course.
There's no, even in Nigeria, you are a lawyer of so many years' experience. Is there a section of the Nigerian Constitution, if I am to join to anchor this program, a section of the Nigerian Constitution that will make the security agencies to inform a suspect that we are coming to search your home? In this case, Trump became a suspect. I don't think there's a provision of in our constitution like that. You have to call the suspect, come, we are coming to your house 3 a.m., 4 a.m. So if Donald Trump decided to leave home, would FBI have asked him, please don't leave home, don't go to New York, stay back at home, we are coming? Is that not an infringement on his fundamental human rights?
Quickly, our time is up. Go ahead, respond quickly, our time is up. Respond quickly.
The issue is this.
Yes.
I did say that when a warrant is issued, a search warrant is issued by the court, the court will be specific. The reason for which the warrant is to be carried out, the court will be specific. The direction or the property to be searched will be specific. The person or persons upon which that search warrant will be visited on will be specific. So you cannot now claim to say because you are a security agent, then you can just invade the property of any man.
Search.
All right, thank you so much, gentlemen. Invade, search, whatever it is, raid, whatever it is. The documents were removed from Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago
that he wants to
mansion.
And he
we
said,
saw in Nigeria here where
he said
the property, the premises of a justice of the Supreme Court was purportedly.
Thank you.
What happened?
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Well, you've heard them. We are still observing because right now the FBI did not come out to say this with the documentary. So there's still hush about it going through it. And Donald Trump is really talking about this, saying this. What they did to him is to weaponize the justice system against him. It's a witch hunt. They're trying to drag his image down. Give an example of Hillary Clinton. Yes. That really did the former vice president of America, and former Secretary of State one time also, he said, look, she didn't know, heaven didn't fall. How come they're not doing the same thing to him? And like what Barrister said, he may likely sue. Other people said, look, it's a search, it's not a raid. They have their reasons for doing it because right now Donald Trump is a suspect. What's your take on it? Gentlemen, thank you once more. Let's see how all this will pan out, okay? Next week, Tuesday, God willing, we'll meet again. Bye for now.